These are beef short ribs, and there's basically 5 to 6 bones across there.
I watched a couple short rib recipes and this has got to be the easiest one. You only need about 5 ingredients.
And as the short rib cooks, it sticks to that bone. The bone implants flavor.
You're gonna be really proud of me because I actually went to Whole Foods and got some good looking meat.
Slice alongside the bone, straight down. You can see that marbling. That sort of disappears and disintegrates.
Lucky for me because I majored in disintegrating food. But check out this marbling. I think this video is about to be the first time I don't cook with questionable ingredients. I have high hopes for this one.
I'm cooking them in a roasting tray. Get it on the heat until nice and hot.
I'm cooking a Dutch oven, which I'll talk a little bit about in a sec.
Season beef short ribs beautifully.
Seasoning the short ribs beautifully.
Olive oil in, bone on the top. We'll start colouring that in.
We'll move everything to the stove, and at this point the pot should be nice and hot. As you probably have noticed, this Dutch oven has appeared on my channel a few times now. You might think that I went on a crazy spending spree and bought a fancy pot. But once you take a closer look at the lid, you'll realize that it's from Goldilocks. For just a fraction of the price, you can get a good looking Dutch oven that gets the job done. They sponsor this video and I have been enjoying their products so far. If you're interested in starting to learn how to cook, you can check out some of these cookware kits on their website. I haven't tried their satay pans yet, but this Dutch oven definitely helped me solve a lot of the problems I was having. The link will be in the description.
Really important to give the beef short ribs a really nice sear.
Once the pan is scorching hot, we'll pour in some vegetable oil. You know it's hot enough when it's flowing on the bottom like water. Taking a second to appreciate the fact that I have beautiful looking meat, because it'll never happen again.
If you didn't brown the meat off, it goes in the oven and it looks like boiled meat. So you really want that nice, dark, rich colouring.
Since the pan and the oil are really hot, it wouldn't take longer than a minute to develop a nice crust like this. Make sure you do the same thing to all 6 sides. It shouldn't take you very long. Did I get hot oil on your face? I'm sorry. As Gordon just explained, searing gives the meat color and makes it much better looking after braising, but it does much more than that. The browning is basically the chemical reaction of when protein is exposed to heat. It's called the Maillard reaction. It not only gives a color, but also helps the meat to develop its unique cooked flavor. All human beings, and Zuckerberg, are attracted to this smell and taste because our early ancestors realized putting meat on fire significantly decreases their chance of getting sick and die. This preference been written in our DNA. Oh, it also locks in all the juicy.
Just cut the garlic in half.
I don't have real garlic, but I have this handful of pre-peeled garlic. As I'm editing this video, I just realized my handful of pre-peeled garlic has mold on it. Seems like it's just this one. It shouldn't kill me, but make me stronger.
Slide that down the side. That's going to give that beef an amazing flavor.
Now we slide in the garlic like how I slide into Brecky's DM. They kind of look like struggling fish on land.
To give body to the sauce, stir in a heaped teaspoon of tomato puree.
To give body to the sauce, we're gonna pour in some whole tomatoes.
So I'm just hitting the bottom of the pan with that tomato puree. And we call it cooking out the tomato puree.
I'm just poking at the bottom of the pan, or what we call it, squishing out the tomatoes.
Otherwise it just goes in there raw and it gives this sort of tartness.
In my experience of things going in raw, it doesn't usually end with tartness, but rather a salty surprise.
Red wine in.
Why did his pan turn into a steam room after the red wine went in?
Don't use an expensive bottle of red wine. There's no need.
If you can afford more expensive red wine, just use it. It helps out your local liquor store.
It makes a big difference when you reduce the red wine down by half because it gives that nice, dark, rich intensity.
If you put a glass shield on top and catch all the drippings, that's basically how you make brandy.
Stock in. Beef stock, perfect. Chicken stock, fine.
Better than bouillon? Extraordinary.
Just to about an inch underneath the beef short ribs.
Pour water till it's about an inch underneath the short ribs.
Bring it up to the boil.
To lock in all that flavour as the beef ribs slow cook, cover them so they braise from the bottom and steam from the top.
Cover them so they braise from the bottom and steam from the top.
Into the oven, 2.5 hours. 170 to 180 degrees. In she goes.
Into the oven at 350 for 2.5 hours. You can use any type of oven you like. I'm gonna use the Dutch oven. I'll put it on low heat and set my timer.
Start your garnish. This is light cured pancetta, bacon.
I don't have pancetta or bacon, so I'm gonna move on to the next item.
These are delicious chestnut mushrooms. I'm not gonna slice them. I'm just gonna cut them in half.
I don't know what chestnut mushrooms are, but I'm using Baby Bella over here. As I'm cutting these, I remembered a meme I saw on Reddit a few days ago.
But look at the color on those lardons now. All the white, raw fat has disappeared.
This is a little jar of lard I got from the pork belly video about a month ago. We're gonna use some of this to fry up the mushrooms to pretend we have some bacon fat in there.
Mushrooms in. Beautiful.
Mushrooms in. Beautiful.
So the mushrooms get seasoned from the bacon.
There's no bacon to season our mushrooms for us, so we're gonna have to do it ourselves.
This is like Christmas Day for me. When you unwrap that foil, wait to see what's underneath it.
This does feel like Christmas because the only gift I get from my family is food, which I'm extremely grateful for, but sometimes I do hope for a PlayStation though.
Wow. They smell incredible.
Not only do they smell incredible, but I feel like this is the definition of falling off the bones.
Beautiful.
Not very beautiful.
To make a fantastic, rich, deep sauce, press the soft roasted garlic through a sieve into the cooking juices.
So we'll go back to the pot, fish out all the garlic, and press it into the juices.
Flavor. Scrape all of that off the sieve. Nice. And then
I strongly suspect that Gordon used some pre-made shiny sauce to make the short ribs look like that.
just start.
Now we spoon on our non-existent bacon and mushrooms. They do smell amazing.
First, my wife leave me. Now you scrape pan with metal. Hiya.
Flat leaf parsley. I want that freshness over those amazing ribs. Incredible.
I don't have parsley because I don't like green things, so this will be it. What do you guys think?
What's poppin'? Brand new whip, just hopped in. I got options. I can pass it like Stockton.
Never ever be embarrassed about going to your butcher and asking for cheap cuts, because the results are incredible.
Well, first of all, I'm pretty shocked to know that people consider short ribs a cheap cut. I feel like Gordon just culinarily called me poor. And second of all, I think my butcher's more embarrassed of having me as a customer. I got these pieces from Whole Foods, but I'll take you guys to my radioactive butcher shop in the future. It's actually pretty lit there. I know it probably doesn't look good on camera, it's all like dark and gray, but with your naked eye, they actually look really appetizing, and look how juicy. Let's cut a piece open and inspect it more closely. I'm really surprised at how much juice it retained after braising it for so long. Alright, it's time to give it a taste and rate it 1 through 10.
I didn't know that I was starving till I tasted you.
This recipe has really simple and straightforward flavors. The braising liquid only consists of red wine, tomatoes, and garlic, which makes it extremely reliant on the quality of the meat itself. I got lucky this time because my short ribs were pretty high quality. The tomatoes and the red wine has a lot of acidity that can cut through the fattiness of the beef. The mushroom has a crispy and bouncy texture that counteracts with the softness of the meat. Overall, this recipe scores an 8.7 out of 10. It has little to no active time and it tastes very well cared for. It's perfect for a simple but wholesome dinner for your family, if you have one. Alright, thank you.